the saying that popped into my mind is something that people have said to me on a number of occasions, of just because you can doesn't mean that you have to. And so it's really just checking in of, okay, is this what I really want? Where are the influences coming from? And will I still be me? Is this me trying to change me to be a better version of me? Or is this me trying to change me to be more like somebody else, which then is not authentic? So I think it's what's the reason for wanting the change? Why is it important? And what will be the benefit of this change? And so really checking in with that, because change can be uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar. So if people want to make that change, understanding what's involved and understanding what the benefits will be, so that if it does get more of a challenge, that they are bought in to that benefit of what that outcome will be. Does that make sense?
And I think the word that I'd written down here was, and you used, was that authenticity, because I think, you know, we can all act in a certain way or behave in a certain way if we need to, but actually, are we being authentic? And I think, you know, coming back to the sort of the work scenario, you know, actually diversity in people is important. There are 16 different personality types that I help people discover they're one of. Not that it boxes them in, it just helps them as a starting point. But actually, you know, if you've got everybody who's the same in a work environment, you're always going to think about a problem in the same way. Whereas actually you want people who are going to look at it from a totally different perspective as well in that mix, and to celebrate those differences, because actually you come out with a much more rounded problem solution. And you know, appreciating those differences is important. And of those 16 types, they don't all occur in the same frequency within the population. So in certain job environments, you may get people who are drawn to those careers because of their personality types and what feels comfortable to them. So you might find that people feel as if they're not the same as everyone else in some cases, but actually everyone has something to bring to the table. And I think it's appreciating that. And so if you're authentic, you are who you are, and you've probably got something really good to bring
I
to the table.
I think that's the challenge, isn't it, for a lot of people, is being comfortable and confident with their authentic self, feeling that sense of belonging, being authentic. And I think that's probably one of the biggest challenges, certainly I think, you know, from my own experiences, but also from hearing other people's experiences, of just really stepping in and saying, this is me, this is what I contribute, this is what I bring to the table, and being confident and comfortable having a different opinion and being able to voice that opinion and those differences. And I remember I went to a seminar a few years ago, and I remember the person saying there that if you're, as a leader, if your team are all agreeing with you, then you've got the wrong team. Because your team should firstly have lots of differences of opinion, but also should feel comfortable in being able to speak up and contribute what their perspective is, what their feelings on things are. And so if you've got a team that don't do that, either you have lots of little junior versions of yourself sitting around the table who think like you and behave like you, which is never healthy, or you have differences around the table, but you haven't created a culture where they can speak up and voice them. So I think from an individual's point of view, it's really important to work on who is it you want to be, getting comfortable and confident with who you are and what you contribute, and having that confidence in finding your voice and being able to speak up and be able to say, no, I have a different perspective, I'd like to share that, and knowing that that's okay for people to have different perspectives and different ways and views on the world, because that's what makes it all so rich, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.